Cleric. Huh? What can I do with 60 feet? Me. You could probably run really fast. Hey, what's up everybody? Snurplecurt Dice Rice here. Welcome to another DnDGreentext video. Before we jump into this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A lot of people are watching these videos without being subscribed, so if you enjoyed them, you can subscribe, and in case you change your mind, you can unsubscribe later. Alright, thanks for that, and with that being said, enjoy the video. The manipulative barbarian. The DM, for some reason, hates lawful and good characters. He killed my lawful good paladin's wife, so going mad with rage and grief, the paladin killed the monster in a suicide attack, caring for nothing but taking this thing down with him. So I had to roll a new character. I make a lawful good, lawful neutral barbarian. High strength, high int, high charisma, but wisdom is his dump stat. The DM agrees to this sort of min-maxing. This character is highly intelligent but never learned how to read because he sees no value in intellectual purposes. All he wants is to hunt, wreck shit, and manipulate people to do his own bidding. For background, he was banished from his home village after having a feud with a local aristocrat over the same woman. The prince shoved him off a balcony, and after he miraculously survived, he never returned. This is the sob story he tells everyone, again, to manipulate people to do his bidding. DM likes this one. We have multiple sessions with this new character along. Knowing that I'm an artist, the DM asks me to draw a portrait of my character for the bio. I do so, and seeing the picture, the DM loses his shit. Okay then. No one's fly like Gaston, works as sly as Gaston. No one makes the DM cry like Gaston. Can confirm, barbarians will eat a shitload of eggs if given the chance. They're especially good at eviscerating. I should have known when OP mentioned his character never learned to read. It's a typical barbarian trope though. Well played by OP. I don't get it. Edit. I get it. Just disgusting creatures, really. Is there a lustful, bestial race in your world that covets the woman of other races? If so, tell me more about them. They're called humans, and they're bastards. Next time I DM, I'm thinking I'll do the giant rats in the sewer episode of Goblin Slayer. That is, get the party all hyped for the rat fight, and then throw bugs at them instead. D&D is for nerds. Be me, new DM, running Curse of Strahd for friends who got me into hobby. Want to do it as a thank you for introducing me to D&D. Going well. I feel very confident in my DMing and everyone has a good time. Group is very small, only 2 players. Was free, but one quit D&D after their 3rd ever session because they realized their monk has bad wisdom and monks need wisdom. Tried to compromise, just wouldn't respond and clearly just didn't really care enough to keep playing. If I can't min-max, what's the point? Ask other friends to play. D&D is for friends. D&D is for nerds. So no. But you obsess over 40k and Star Wars. Every time I see you, I somehow listen to you rant about a dead franchise for 50 minutes before you then rant about Vulcan from 40k for another 50 minutes. Yeah, but D&D is for nerds. The idea of it grosses me out. You just spent the last hour complaining to me about the pre-sequels and newer Star Wars films. You even referenced the Star Wars books and sent me screenshots from the comic books to prove your point that I don't even understand because I haven't seen Star Wars. Yeah, but I just refuse to put up with D&D. It's the nerdiest that I've ever seen. Glanced at his 40k orc figurines and sweat profusely as I try to be civil. Well, can you please just do it for one session? I'll even make you a character, and if you don't like it, I'll never bother you about it again. I just want a few more players at the table. You don't see me forcing my passions onto you. My face when I listen about franchises I don't care about because he's passionate about them. My face when I paid for tickets to a Star Wars movie I didn't want to see. My face when I got on for playing a board game once a week with friends. My face when he still force feeds me lore from Stellaris, XCOM, Star Wars, Elder Scrolls Online, and The Witcher. My face when I, the Chad, am being insulted by him, the Virgin. I don't know man, maybe that's not a lot of context, but that sounds like a friend. The correct response to D&D's for nerds always starts with yes and. To be fair, I was the one who said it in my case, but I also immediately followed it up with what time? About 3 years and a lot of money later, here we are. He's insulting you because he's 100% insecure in his own passions. Also, last I checked, Warhammer is some of the nerdiest nerd to ever nerd. I'd personally ghost him for a little bit and see how he feels about not having his interests validated. Don't feed his need for validation. It's not like I necessarily mind that much, I just don't get how he can rant about a mommy guy named Cetra and his lore all day every day and then pretend I'm the nerdy one. I just like being able to play a game with my friends that doesn't restrict me in the same way a video game would. I mean, as a fair point, he completely shut you out on it. Just politely state that you don't care and you would like it if he stops pushing his interest on you when he won't give your interests a try. Friendship is a two-way street and he needs to grasp that if he wants to keep spouting his interests. He needs to take at least a superficial interest in what you enjoy and want to share. Keep hanging out and doing other stuff. Just cut out the talk time about those couple nerd talk areas since he doesn't want to be too nerdy. How the dumbest thing I have ever attempted in a game made me a demigod. Minor spoilers for Mad Mage. Be me, 17th level Dragonborn Forged Cleric of Moradin. Backstory reasons. Be rest of party, knocking heads in Mad Mage. Find literal rivers of perpetual iron and steel. Cleric practically salivating. Player PMs me, suggesting I pray to Moradin and jump into the molten steel. The f you say to me? Eventually say f it and do it anyway. Use a divine intervention and sweat bullets hoping I don't effing die. Barely make the save. Short discussion with DM as to what the hell happens next. My cleric climbs out, now literally plated in steel from head to toe. And now the only steel dragonborn in existence. Become a chosen of Moradin. DM rules that steel skin gives a +4 AC. My AC is now 27. 28 with a ritual, and I have advantage on charisma rolls with followers of Moradin. Praise Moradin. Holy shit, dude, that's amazing. That's awesome. I love that he went with it. You got to, man. Basically it's a 17 chance of huge reward, 83% chance Dragonborn lava sludge. 17% of the time, it works all the time. David Attenborough narrating. Well, not really, cause it's me. Thus, later in life, the Dragonborn has undergone a startling transformation. To us, it looks like a suicidal plunge into molten metal. However, for the Dragonborn, it is a warm and nurturing chrysalis, from which the newborn Steelix emerges. Once thought to be entirely a separate species, this new phenomenon, caught on film for the first time ever with the BBC, has proven they are merely different life stages of the same creature. Evolution at its most daring. The quickest I ever killed the party's lovable pet. Be me, DM. Be party. Bunch of people. Party is standing near a small cove. They'd like to recover the net full of bodies floating in the water, but there are some large, dark shapes moving around under it that they can't quite identify. Bard elects to pull out a fuzzball from his bag of tricks. It grows into a lion, which the party immediately falls in love with. Each party member comes up with their own pet name for it. The bard sends it down to splash in the water and see what happens. The lion splashes of power in the surf, and in response, a chul crashes out of the water and grabs the lion, and then paralyzes it with its tentacles. The party throws some attacks at it, but not enough to do much. Then, the two other chuls splash up at the paralyzed prey, and all three rip it apart with their claws, and begin feasting on its entrails. The party throws more attacks at them, killing one as the others retreat. The party looks at the dismembered lion bits floating around a massive, dead crustacean in the surf and reconsiders pet ownership. I really don't know what they expected. I mean, sharks on the top of my list, but chuls wouldn't have surprised me. It worked out exactly as they intended. One of them even commented, "Good thing we sent that lion instead of one of us." They just weren't prepared for the immediate emotional attachment, the poor sods. Reminds me of SCP-1230. Your current fantasy character lays on his back, looking up towards the sky. You cough up blood as your broken body gives out. The world around you goes dark as you realize you have failed in your current quest. Everything goes numb. Your limbs feel cold. Just as the void fully engulfs your vision, you see a light. You're in a hospital now. Wires and an IV hooked up to you. A man dressed in a white gown greets you. "I see you broke free from the simulation. Welcome to real life. It's modern day, real world, unfantastical America." How does your character react? Waking up in a hellscape ruled by a dictator. My character kills himself. He kills himself once he sees the hospital bill. Finds a bar that accepts bullion, steals a boat, and goes to Somalia to become the king of pirates. That's the only valid response and reaction. That phase when your character would unironically prefer a pseudo-medieval world full of monsters and supernatural dangers, rather than living in modern-day America with all its technological progress. This is a very strange nightmare. Also, I mocked the DM. Seriously? Full dive VR in modern-day real-world unfantastical America? I wish. Fantasy world is better than modern world, because you can actually become powerful enough to impact the world around you, rather than forever being an NPC. DM. By the way, you're 60 feet away from the enemy. Cleric. Huh? What can I do with 60 feet? Me. You could probably run really fast. If you are a wizard, you could cast counterspell, but you're not, so I guess get how my Warlock won at mental chess with his patron. Little bit of backstory before I get into the actual green text. I play a Fallen Aasimar Pact of Fiend Tomblock. Well, I did. He was Fiend until he molted into Life Cleric to give a holy spark, and then went full Celestial Warlock. His name is Aldo. A vizier of Asmodeus himself was his patron. Ilmater is his new, true patron. The rest of the party is simple. Thief Rogue and Oath of Watchers Paladin. I'm the utility, healing, and damage all in one divine package. Campaign was mainly about exploring this world, interacting with the religions. We ended up throwing a corrupt pope off his own church and destroying it after freeing their god from a magic dungeon, and trying to find something called a spell vault. We travel back from cursed lands to the town Aldo owns, as he is a noble. The story begins. Party arrives at Aldo's town, and we see his chained devil brother who taunts him while the town burns. Eldritch Blast and Smite. Chained Devil reveals himself as Old Patron, essentially an Archdevil level threat without all the influence. Beat on the Patron a bit, with Smite and Radiant Eldritch Blast and such. Aldo counterspells a 9th level hold person, no easy feat for a level 9. Patron reveals that he had control the whole time, and that it was Raziel giving the Celestial Warlock power the whole time to help OG Patron. Aldo is understandably upset, screams at Patron to just kill him, see exactly what happens, while Paladin and Rogue beat on him. Patron says no, strips him of all Warlock levels. Okay, the Patron just said no and left. Aldo just laughs, and laughs, and laughs. I bring up to DM that Aldo was a Divine Soul Sorcerer in backstory and went Warlock route. No Warlock level means full Sorc levels. Patron is upset at being outplayed, says stuff along the lines of "I'll have your soul, blah blah, you got tricked." Aldo just dies laughing and reveals that no matter what devil Patron does, he can't win. Capture Aldo and take his soul? It's still tainted with purity and worship of Ilmater. No status gain in 9 hells and makes devil Patron look bad for not being able to corrupt Aldo. Kill Aldo and destroy his soul? Fail to claim soul and looks even worse as he had to give up. Patron is annoyed. Aldo has pulled a Magnus the Red on Zinch, and just based on the fact that he literally outsmarted what is essentially an archdevil. Patron plane shifts home. Session ends on cliffhanger. Me and the DM talk in voice chat for a few hours about lore and mechanics, decide that Ilmater gives Aldo full celestial lock powers and redeems him to Protector Aasimar finally. And Aldo is finally cut from Old Pact, so no risk of that, but huge risk of devil attacks. TLDR, Warlock outsmarted one of the smartest types of beings in the multiverse, and didn't lose anything but his town, which he can rebuild. Well, fucking congrats to Aldo, dude. Alright, time for comment review. Why would we just talk to people? That's for chumps and extroverts. We're here to kick ass and cry ourselves to sleep like real adventurers. Spoken like a true member of the community, dude, let's go. Dumbest reason a session was cancelled. My DM was so high, he couldn't DM that day. Well, at least the DM was feeling good. Talking to people always works well in game. Like, I had a character that was only good for talking in a Star Wars campaign, due to min-maxers ruining combat later in the campaign. At the end of the campaign, our stupid herder kill everything min-maxers had made so many enemies, we were literally backed into a corner. Sometimes you might want to get on the same page as the rest of the party. Mario is a Rune Knight fighter for limited ability to get bigger in combat, and the Monk for big jumps and unarmed combat. 4 elements could give fireballs. Alright? Glad we figured out what Mario is. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did and subscribe for more if you haven't already. Also, thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon, I really appreciate it guys, so thank you a lot for that. Links below to the Discord server if you wanna post stories on the subreddit, if you wanna follow me on Instagram, Twitter or Twitch. And yeah, that's it, thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, bye!